It's a new season in the USL Championship for ATL UTD2. The location is new, and there are some new faces both on the touchline and out on the pitch itself. It is the USL Championship from the Proving Ground. Next. From Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, Georgia, it is the beginning of the USL Championship for Atlanta United 2. It is against one of the debutantes here, Hartford Athletic, coming to town as year 2 of ATL UTD 2 comes to the fore from a different location in Kennesaw. Alongside Jason Longshore, I am John Nelson. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so tonight. It's a busy night here, Jason, in the USL Championship. Welcome back, partner.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody watching. Welcome to Hartford Athletic joining the USL Championship here in 2019. We'll get our first taste of Jimmy Nielsen's side. A lot of familiar faces for him, whether from his native Denmark or from his former club, OKC Energy. And we're going to take a peek at the lineups in just a little bit. They're out there for the assembly. Let's take a peek at the captain. And you mentioned familiarity, and that is there for Hartford Athletic. Phil Rasmussen, the captain for Hartford Athletic. Career high in matches and goals in 2018. Former OKC Energy, also from Denmark, a player that Jimmy Nielsen is very familiar with. And on the flip side, it's Captain Jack for ATL UTD2. Jack Metcalf was one of the stalwarts last year for ATL UTD2. I think he played every position on the field. Metcalf led the team in appearances and minutes. Looks like he's going to be in the midfield in the new 3-4-3 shape that we're seeing a lot of out of Atlanta United as a club. He'll be one of the holding midfielders tonight. Those are the two wearing the armbands. We'll let you see what else is going on here at Fifth Third. The anthem is going on right now. When we come back, it's lineups and kickoff of the USL Championship. The Stripes and Hartford Athletic just around the corner. Stick and stay.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium, getting ready for Hartford Athletic and ATL UTD2. Jason, let's take a peek at the visitors coming through. First game ever, first starting 11 ever. Waiting to see how Jimmy Nielsen lines this up. We've seen a couple different ideas about the shape. For Hartford Athletic in goal, Jacob Lissek. Backline left to right, Raymond Lee, Nikolai Linga, Sim DeVitt, Tyler David. Midfield 4 across, Sebastian Dahlgaard, Mads Jorgensen, Phil Rasmussen, Alex Dixon, and up top, Wojciech and Jose Angulo. Firepower there up top for Hartford Athletic. On the flip side, for the home side, ATL UTD2, what do you see in their starting 11? Also very flexible in how the shape comes out. We've seen the first team play in a 3-4-3 shape. This is a 4-3-3 listed.
Back line in front of Brendan Moore, George Bello, Florentine Pogba, Tyler Ruthven, and George Campbell from the Atlanta United Academy. Midfield, the captain Jack Metcalf, Anderson Asayadu, and Dion Pereira. And up top, Jackson Conway, Brandon Vasquez, and John Gallagher.
And we mentioned new faces, new places. One of those new guys is the guy on the touchline for ATL UTD2. Was Scott Donnelly last year. This year, totally different.
Stephen Glass moves up from the Atlanta United U17s in the academy, so he knows quite a few of these Atlanta players in the lineup tonight. He's put a focus on combining the winning attitude and competing and playing at a first-team level. For Hartford is Jimmy Nielsen, former Sporting Kansas City and MLS Cup winner in 2013. He's been to 2 Western Conference finals while with the OKC Energy. This is his first season in Hartford. We'll see if he can bring that winning attitude over to Connecticut.
Didn't know a whole lot about Hartford Athletic on the way in, but he was interested in the opportunity, interviewed, got the job. And before we go any further, let's give a shout out and a salute to the folks at Hooker Beer at Colt hanging out. And there's Stephen Glass.
Stephen Glass, who we mentioned just a bit ago. Yeah, we had a chance to speak with him yesterday. It's finding that combination of the winning and the development. He's focused on developing players through winning. You're going to see a very competitive side here tonight who all these players want to play for the first team at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the future.
Those are the gentlemen who will have whistles and flags tonight. Gustavo Solorio is in the middle. Your ARs are Brian Marshall, Kevin Hewitt, and your 4th official is Christopher Heinzman. We are ready to go for the USL Championship. There's your whistle, and we are underway from 5th third.
Looks like the 3-4-3 for Atlanta with Pogba and Campbell flanking Tyler Ruthven.
Campbell and Ruthven at the back. Trying to work their way forward. Let's see what Campbell does. Brings it forward with the right. Intercepted, and so Hartford Athletic has their first opportunity, but plugging the middle once again, Anderson Asayadu and John Gallagher working forward.
Good run from Gallagher, finds Pereira, swings it out wide to the left to Bello.
Bello working in on the elbow. Kent tries to bring it in with the left, sweeping left, too much over the top. Jackson Conway trying to track it down, and he does. Slip there, brought in with the right. Opportunity quickly for ATL UTD2, but the Stripes can't do anything with it, and it's cleared.
Gallagher looking for some room to take a shot, couldn't find it. Well defended by Hartford.
Set all the way down, and it will be Brendan Moore for the Stripes to Tyler Ruthven.
Moore and Ruthven, both from the Metro Atlanta area, both returning to the club. Ruthven played last season, late in the year, late signing. Moore new to the club from Rockdale in England.
Notice a couple of slips because all of the sprinklers were on just before the players came back out for introduction, so we might be seeing a little bit of that early on.
It'll dry out as we go.
Temperature here in the low 60s up in Kennesaw as we're getting ready for match day 1. A lot of action has already started. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on in the East. One game last night to start. One surprising result already in the East today as North Carolina FC knocks off the defending champs Louisville City 4-1.
A little surprising to see George Campbell make his USL debut tonight. He's a player I've seen in the academy quite a bit, and Stephen Glass very familiar with him from his time in the academy. Would have made an appearance last season in USL, but had an untimely injury that knocked him out of contention for the USL 18.
Pogba working it forward. Bello and back.
Patient possession from Atlanta so far. Have to find that penetration into the final third. Great ball from Pogba. Took a little skip on that wet turf over Gallagher.
Over Gallagher's head, so it will go to Hartford Athletic.
Raymond Lee to take the throw. We saw him last season with Pittsburgh, 31 appearances for one of the best defenses in the USL last season.
And when you're building a franchise from the ground up, obviously you want to go from the back defense first in those kinds of situations. Bello with space.
Great ball from Pogba again to pick Bello out.
Working into the middle. Let's see what happens there with the right. Top of the box, nothing happening. Back to Hartford Athletic.
Dion Pereira, new to the club from Watford in England. He was Watford's Young Player of the Year in 2017. really strong on the 1v1. Atlanta's going to be looking to get him isolated with defenders as much as possible tonight.
Pogba a bit surrounded. Pereira comes back to help out.
Hit a couple passes like Pogba has, you're going to have to close him down quickly.
Campbell. And Gallagher. Bit of a lift, looking for an opening for Brandon Vasquez, a little too much.
Good look from John Gallagher. We watched his transition last year with ATL UTD2. Came into the club as a forward out of Notre Dame, USL or MLS Super Draft pick last season. Really in a time of need, he switched to a right back because the team didn't have any available, and he's made the position his own. In this 3-4-3, I think it's perfectly suited for John Gallagher because he can get forward and get involved in the attack in the final third a little more easily.
Asayadu looking for Conway. Gallagher kind of pinballs its way around. Nikolai Linga going back to Jacob Lissick. Let's see what happens here as Vasquez chases with the right and out of play.
Lissick, one of those Oklahoma City Energy players that Jimmy Nielsen is very familiar with. Starts 5 former OKC Energy players tonight.
Angulo, Rasmussen, Dixon, Lissick.
Dalgard.
And Dalgard. But you want that kind of familiarity when you're building something. We mentioned building something from the ground up, to have guys that you know that can do certain things. It's going to help you out from the experience coming out of the blocks. Nice. Speaking of blocks, there's Conway. And sent forward by Lee with the left, but too much. And it'll be a deep throw for ATL UTD2.
Stripes making it difficult for Hartford out of the back right now as Hartford Athletic just tries to settle into the match. Good pressure up top from Vasquez, Gallagher, Pereira, Bello, Conway.
Gustavo Solorio wanting a little bit of a backtrack before the throw in. Here comes Hartford Athletic going after it. There's Dalgard. Double teamed in the corner, tries to drive on net. It's going to be the first corner for Hartford Athletic.
Dalgard eluded Gallagher there on the run down the left, but George Campbell slides over to play that over the end line.
Jurgensen will take. Left hand, right foot raised, kind of short. Tried to come up with something there inside the 6. Couldn't quite come down with it, so it'll be a goal kick.
Jorgensen played that to the near post. The flick on. Atlanta closed it down really well. Did not allow a turn and shot.
Seventh minute here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so. Match week 1 for the USL Championship here in 2019. Pereira, Bello, Vasquez tried to rework the entry on the give and go there. Intercepted. Hartford Athletic tries to get out of their own defensive third with it. Deflected, but it'll be a throw.
Different role for Brandon Vasquez tonight. We've generally seen him play on the right side with the first team or with ATL UTD2 last season. Playing as the number 9 tonight, he has to connect to bring Conway, bring Pereira into the match. Passes have to be a little sharper than the last one.
Raymond Lee trying to send it down one more time. Moore is there to grab.
Conway making it difficult for Lee to find a teammate.
Ruthven and Campbell. Comes to the switch, and it's there for Pogba. Bello couldn't handle it, but Pogba will get it back, or now Captain Jack will. Dribbles to the center, sends to Campbell. Gallagher. And back, and they will recycle with Ruthven. Near center circle. Campbell looking for a little help, sends it back to Ruthven. Ruthven now having to backtrack a little bit. Asayadu. Well done on the send there with some open space and a good double back, but nobody home. Jackson Conway tries to go in with the right. Can the Stripes continue the momentum? Conway and Pereira had it. Couldn't pull the trigger on it with the left, but they'll try it again. Sent in with the left. Header again, grabbed. Brandon Vasquez the opportunity. Jacob Lissick the answer.
George Bello with quality service from the left. Quality buildup all the way around. Asayadu with the ball out to Bello to start the whole sequence.
Halfway through the 9th minute here. Hartford Athletic, first match in their 2019 USL Championship history, going up against ATL UTD2. First match in their second season here. Ruthven sending it back to Moore, trying to get out of trouble. Ruthven and Metcalf and Pogba. Pereira, Bello.
You see Pogba's strength to hold off Hartford Athletic players and find Pereira.
Gallagher. And Asayadu. Back and forth with Jackson Conway. Now back to Tyler Ruthven.
Metcalf dropping deep to help in possession.
Pogba trying to direct a little traffic with Metcalf. Kind of caught between players with Pereira and Bello. And here comes Hartford Athletic. But once again, Asayadu right in the middle of it all. Nice strong tackle to get possession back.
Anderson Asayadu earning some cheers from the crowd already. Great delivery on the pass to start the last attack. A big tackle there. Covering a lot of ground.
Gallagher, Asayadu. Center circle to Pogba. Pereira.
Good first touch from Pereira.
Works with the left. Gallagher, is he going to get there? Yes. Sends it back. Nobody in the box on the return pass. Hartford Athletic will clear. But back at the back, it's Tyler Ruthven, and they'll try it again with Pogba.
Hartford struggling to get any possession in Atlanta's half. Wave after wave of attack for the Stripes.
Campbell. And Gallagher. Asayadu on the turn. Right foot looking for Conway. Knocked away. And a whistle. Foul called on Asayadu as he was trying to keep possession. Rasmussen hit the deck.
Rasmussen grabbed his face after that challenge with Asayadu.
Yep. That's where the whistle came from with the challenge on Rasmussen. So Hartford Athletic now with Linga will send it in after the whistle, and Asayadu getting a bit of a talking to from Gustavo Solorio.
Rasmussen's fine just to allow his team to catch their breath a little bit. They've had to do a lot of work defensively.
Linga sending it long, headed down by Pogba. Nicely done. Pereira working with Tyler David, but Hartford Athletic sends it down, and it will roll harmlessly over the inline. Goal kick.
Florentine Pogba, since his signing, there's been a lot of questions about when he would be available, how would he look. This is his first competitive match since May of 2018. He was with a club in Turkey that was relegated out of contract at the end of that season before signing with Atlanta United.
Brendan Moore looking deep, looking for Gallagher or Conway. Conway lost the joust. There's Dalgard. Overlapping Raymond Lee, looking to send in with the left. Nicely done by Tyler Ruthven there on the entry pass. So corner kick once again for Hartford. Here's another
look. That's how
look.
quickly it can turn. Lee with the overlap and a very good left-footed service low, trying to get Angulo in behind. Ruthven has to slide in to intercept.
Halfway through minute 13, goalless here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. ATL UTD2 and Hartford Athletic. Sent in once again toward the near, headed clear. Lee will try to send it back in, but once again, ping-ponged out. It's going to be a bit of a race with Lee and Pereira. Pereira's going to win it. What can he do with it? Tries to work his way in with the right, but the veteran is there, nicely shielded, and it's back to Hartford Athletic.
If you're Jimmy Nielsen, that's why you go get a player like Raymond Lee. Dion Pereira in the foot race with him, wins it, but Lee recovers, takes it off of him, tries to start an attack and earns a throw.
Big throw, joust won by Sayadu, so it'll be just another throw toward the center line for Hartford Athletic. Lee sends it back in, chested down, but Jackson Conway had it, lost it, couldn't control it. Back to the boys in white.
Poor touch from Conway, who was of 2 minds there and lost it.
Pogba won the challenge with the ball in the air, but it ends up going over the inline, so it'll be another corner, the 3rd corner for Hartford Athletic here in the first 14 minutes. Let's take another peek.
A little out of control there as Pogba comes across, doesn't win that cleanly in front of Dixon, who made the run in. Gives up the corner.
We've seen ideas from Hartford Athletic to the near post so far when they've done these. Sending it inside the 6, headed away. And Sayadu will come out with it, but nicely done to defend was Dalgard, so Hartford Athletic could keep possession. And then Raymond Lee tries to send it deep, looking for Jurgensen, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Stripes.
Hartford showing one of the qualities that Jimmy Nielsen talked about in preseason: transition. When they've been able to win these set pieces, they're not letting Atlanta get out of their own half, and now they're defending up very high, making life difficult for George Campbell and Brendan Moore.
Very difficult. Brendan Moore with a bit of a fancy dribble there to make sure that he got possession, but turned over deep in their own end. Tyler Ruthven there to try to get some kind of control. Give to Campbell and Gallagher.
Like the initiative out of Atlanta early on, they want to play through this trouble. They're trying to invite the pressure in and hit in behind. A little difficult for Campbell, Gallagher, and Sayadu to get out of their half, though. That was a nice dribble from Moore, but
yes,
really don't want to see many of those.
No.
Save those for the training ground.
Campbell sends it deep with the right, looking for Vasquez, who holds it down. Fans want to call for a push in the back, don't get it, but Jackson Conway's there. Step over, give to Gallagher. Sent in with the right to the far post, and off the header. Nice grab by Lissick. Nice initiative there by the Stripes.
Dion Pereira falling backwards there on the header. We get a look at that push on Vasquez. It's a beautiful first touch to control it. I think he was falling down initially. Linga gets his hands out on Vasquez, but I don't think he really shoved him over. I think Vasquez was going down on his own. Great first touch, but good recovery from Linga.
Gallagher and Campbell. Sayadu. Working through center circle. Getting checked from behind. A lot of space for him to work. With the right, Gallagher sends it back in, but there are only Hartford Athletic kids there, but it's going to be a Creature Comforts corner kick for ATL UTD2.
Has to be a little better from John Gallagher there. Anderson Sayadu splits the lines with a dribble, runs right through 2 Hartford players. Puts it on Gallagher's right boot, but he can't find a teammate. Dalgard sees that out for the corner, and Metcalf will take it.
A lot of work toward the back. Grounder sent in, and looked like Vasquez wanted to try to do something with the right boot, but he caught it well underneath and sent it up into the stands.
Good idea, good run across from Vasquez. No one tracked him, but trying to hit that hard and slice it in on goal. He hit it very firm and put it into the stands.
Coming up to the halfway point, a minute 18, Hartford Athletic and ATL UTD2. Goalless here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. New home for the Stripes this year. And it's going to be fun telling the stories of all the new faces that have shown up here as well as the progression of the players who were here in 2018. Hartford Athletic tries a launch, nice top spin, and it was grabbed at the line by Brendan Moore.
Dalgard just moves that across with the outside of the right foot to Jorgensen, who hits it on the hop. Goes for a little top spin lob over Brendan Moore, but Moore's ready for it.
There's another quick look at it. Here's your volley.
Great hit from Jorgensen.
And the grab.
Not quite enough power on it. Moore's able to get there.
Back to possession for the Stripes. Pogba looking for Vasquez. Ruthven there. And Pogba. Looking for Vasquez again, caught in between hops. It was a great idea, but Vasquez couldn't get there between the two hops. Hartford had it. Now they've lost it. What can Pereira do with it? Answer, not much, because it goes through his cleats and back to the guys in white.
Good work by Metcalf to step in the passing lane, but his pass to Pereira just a little behind him. Dion can't hold it.
Tyler David, Simdevit, and all the way back to Lissick.
Lissick surveying the options in front of him. Picks out Lee.
Yep. Lee and now Linga. Rasmussen and back to Lee. He wants to launch something with that left. Jackson Conway closes him down. Rasmussen couldn't do anything with it with Conway there. So let's see what Linga, the 6'5" defender, can do. Tries to send it forward to Dalgard. Dalgard slips on the turf, but Hartford keeps possession. Another wipeout, and it goes back to the Stripes.
And Gulo lost his footing. Hartford trying to overload on their left side. Atlanta was a 3v2 against them, but they get lucky with the poor footing. Two players wipe out. Jorgensen getting more and more involved as we go here in the first half.
Rasmussen and DeVitt. And back to Lissick, where they'll start over. Big right boot looking for Lee, chested down. Looking for help in the center circle off the give and go, but it's picked off by Metcalf. Now Metcalf looking for a little help, gets it from Pogba, and they'll reset. Here in the 21st minute, welcome to Fifth Third Bank Stadium, Kennesaw, Georgia, the new home of ATL UTD2. Alongside Jason Longshore, I'm John Nelson. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight here with action in match week 1 of the USL Championship for 2019. It's good to be back with you for another season so we can continue to see the growth of the Stripes. Part of that growth is Jackson Conway. Trying to work past Linga, can't do it. You're going to get a whistle.
Jackson Conway, we saw him quite a bit in USL action last season as an academy player. In the offseason, he signed his professional deal with ATL UTD2. Very mature player for 17 years old. Goes 1v1 there with Linga, earns the free kick. Conway scored 43 goals in the academy in the last 2 years, but he's shown a little bit more than just being a goal scorer here in the USL Championship.
So let's see what Captain Jack has to think here. Gustavo Solorio directing a little traffic. Whistle, Metcalf sends it in with the right. Headed down.
Vasquez header blocked by DeVitt.
Metcalf sends it back. All the way back.
Recycle possession, try to draw Hartford out.
Bello and Asayadu. Asayadu with the right looking for Vasquez. And too much for Gallagher as well. Goal kick.
It's that wet turf you were talking about. Skips away from John Gallagher as he's looking for the half volley.
Did take a bit of an accelerated hop there.
Metcalf with that free kick. Picks out Vasquez. I think Vasquez got a touch, but DeVitt won that pretty cleanly. Strong from the 2018 FC Cincinnati center back.
Joust won off the second opportunity by Dalgard and Hartford, but the Stripes come back with it. Gallagher looking to work forward. Rasmussen, Lee, all of the midfielders seem to be touching it. Dalgard didn't get to it. Conway got there first. Quick throw by Lee looking to spring. And in the corner, it's Angulo and Campbell. Well defended by Campbell right up against the corner flag. Still say it's in. It's going to stick. with Hartford Athletic deep in Atlanta United 2's defensive third.
Veteran experience from Jose Angulo, second all-time in USL in goals scored.
Raymond Lee looking to size things up. Deep throw into the box, headed. Opportunity for Hartford Athletic, but cleared by the Stripes. Jackson Conway, the big boot. And the race between DeVitt and Vasquez. DeVitt will get there by a couple of yards, send it back to Lissick.
Metcalf with that initial clearance inside the 18. Long throw from Raymond Lee. And it's Metcalf at the end of this as Angulo's looking to turn. Metcalf with the half volley with his left foot.
Tyler David to Linga. Big send with the right. Well defended. Pogba down, but two bodies there. Hartford Athletic with yet another chance. Trying to spring Wojcik, and it didn't quite happen. So the Stripes will try to get out of their own defensive deep third. It's going to be a throw for the Stripes, and they'll try to reset here.
Alex Dixon with his speed on the right side trying to cause some problems. I'd like to see a foot race between Dixon and Bello. I don't know who wins that.
Big switch, not quite there. Lead a header. Dalgard. Jurgensen and back to DeVitt. Tyler David. Rasmussen. Stripes players thought that the ball was out. Didn't get the call. So we'll come back to the other side. And Linga with some space.
Hartford building in confidence.
Wojcik. Well defended there on the slide.
George Campbell, the academy player there with Wojcik. Great tackle and then great work to physically fight off Wojcik.
Yep.
Started with the tackle. Campbell tracks it well, goes in big with the tackle, but when he has a poor touch and he has to fight off Wojcik, he's able to body him off. Good work from the teenager.
I was going to say, since we passed the quarter pole, I was going to ask you what your thoughts were so far.
Hartford's growing into the match. Atlanta United 2 looking good so far, although their influence is waning a little bit. Keep an eye on Mass Jorgensen. I really like what he's doing, finding the space in between Metcalf and Asayadu for Hartford. 20-year-old from Denmark, the captain at his last team as a teenager. He's adjusted to what Atlanta's throwing at him tonight. Really impressive so far.
Once again, reminder where Hartford Athletic is concerned. You have 5 Danish players on the roster. Familiarity with Nielsen and what he likes to do. And big left foot there, grabbed by Lissick. Nicely done.
Hartford now content to build up out of the back a little bit.
Pogba's there to defend. Ruthven settles.
Such a confident player, Florentine Pogba.
Gallagher will send it all the way back to Brendan Moore.
Chance here, ball over the top. Not cleared well, and it's George Bello. George Bello with the shot.
That was the last opportunity for the Stripes here. Now we're in minute 28. A lot of room to run in the middle by Dalgard, but he got his pocket picked once again. Stellar defending by Campbell and the Stripes here.
Dion Pereira looking for some help, gives it away.
You mentioned Jurgensen, there he is. Wojcik tries to go with the left, slips on the grass. And they're just going to call goal kick there as Dalgard was trying to go down and try to draw a penalty, not happening.
Dalgard was looking for the call. Not sure how much contact. We'll see if the replay shows us anything here. Wojcik with the cutback as he slipped. No, there's no contact at all. Ruthven goes in front, wins that.
Tyler Ruthven with the finger wag saying nothing was there.
Well, he's looking for a yellow card on Dalgard for the dive.
Yep.
Doesn't get that either.
Sent long by Campbell looking for Vasquez. Linga is there. Vasquez slips on the turf. Sends it back to Lissick. Jackson Conway with token pressure. And here comes Vasquez again on Lee. Muscles him away from it. Stripes with possession.
Excellent ball from Pogba.
Pogba to Bello. Let's see what happens here. Dribbling through a lot of traffic. Pereira sends it in, looking for Conway. Muscled off by Lee and cleared by Hartford Athletic.
There was contact there, but Conway looking for the call, doesn't find it. Lee, good job defensively to get in Conway's path and take that away from him. Take another look at it now. Pereira nifty moves into Conway, and Lee just holds his ground.
Right by Vasquez, in by Gallagher. It's in the back of the net. First goal of the season to the Stripes as we turn minute 30.
John Gallagher cleaning up the loose ball in the 18 after Brandon Vasquez's shot. You see those forward instincts from the former Notre Dame Fighting Irishman. Puts it right over Jacob Lissick. Get another look now. Starts with Gallagher. He cuts inside on the dribble. Vasquez, right-footed shot, just takes a deflection and falls right into Gallagher. Doesn't break his stride. I think Vasquez might have actually mishit that off the outside of his foot.
I think you're right.
Fortunate deflection. John Gallagher makes the most of it.
Stripes get their first goal on the board, and it goes to Gallagher. After Hartford had been building and gaining confidence and growing into the game, as you said, a moment like that, and I think you are right, I think it did hit the outside of Vasquez's foot. Deflection, Gallagher, loose change, goal, 1-0.
I think Vasquez mishit it.
Yeah.
Bailed out by the mishit and the deflection.
So let's see what Hartford Athletic does here.
Florentine Pogba just jumps in and takes that right away from Wojcik.
Campbell. And the goal scorer, Gallagher. Dalgard and Lee both in there. Asayadu jumping into the play. Gallagher a little slow to get up.
A little reckless from Asayadu, and now Atlanta's right side is exposed.
Campbell backtracking quickly and cleared. Tyler Ruthven right there to send it out of play.
Jack Metcalf is the captain of ATL UTD2, but don't discount Tyler Ruthven's leadership as well. Made the decision to come back to Atlanta, come back to his hometown last year, making the most of it, leading a fairly young squad this season. Especially with an academy defender to his right in George Campbell.
Lee off the throw. Rasmussen off of Conway. Looking to send with the right. Got caught in between two different ideas. It'll be a goal kick for Brendan Moore.
See how Hartford responds to conceding first. It's not necessarily a young team. They have a couple 20-year-olds in the lineup, but this group hasn't played together. Who's going to step up? Who's going to try to change this for Hartford Athletic? Maybe Wojcik.
Wojcik looking with the left. Pogba thought about stepping into the lane, but sent in, and Wojcik just missed.
That's the lack of competitive matches for Florentine Pogba. Just not quite sure of himself there if he can get in front of the ball from Wojcik out to the right to Dixon. Dixon's speed's a problem for Atlanta. In space, puts in the cross. Wojcik continued his run wide open at the edge of the 6. Header just missed wide of the far post.
Pogba and Ruthven. Halfway through minute 33. Metcalf thought about a Sayadu. Goes to Campbell. Jackson Conway.
Good interchange from Conway and Gallagher. Gallagher continued his run. Conway dropped onto that right side, that right wing back roll to cover for him.
Metcalf looking for Gallagher, didn't find him. Lee picked it off, but Asayadu ends up with it for the Stripes. Vasquez with the right to Gallagher. Metcalf looking for an outlet, finds it in Asayadu. And the back line once again. All three touch it. Campbell, Ruthin, Pogba.
It's all about moving forward as a unit. You want to get all 10 field players playing in Hartford's half if you're ATL UTD2.
Pereira and Metcalf tried to send with the right. Sent on from Conway to Gallagher. Can he save it? No.
Footing, a little bit of an issue there. You could tell John Gallagher just not quite sure of himself to put that cross in. Held up just a bit.
Back in quickly by Hartford Athletic, and sent on is Dalgard. Campbell now chasing. Left foot sent in Dixon.
Ruthven holds him up, forces him out wide.
Tyler David and Sayadu hit the deck. Lee working forward. Wojcik was there, but Asayadu sticking with it. Gets the ball away from him and sends it forward with the left.
Pereira can't keep it. David wins it.
See what Hartford Athletic does here. Launched high over the bar. Goal kick.
Wojcik forced that a bit. A little frustrated with himself. We wondered how Hartford would respond. A lot of energy from them after conceding. Not quite enough quality, though, to find an equalizer.
Asayadu. A lot of room for Anderson Asayadu to work here. Conway and Gallagher again. Gallagher. Lee marking him. Sends it back in. Vasquez has it. Volley right on.
John Gallagher just making all kinds of hay down the right side. Puts in a great cross to the back post to Brandon Vasquez. Watch this touch from Brandon Vasquez. Gallagher over everyone. Settles it for himself. Flying volley right at Lissick.
Campbell tried to settle for Gallagher. Dalgard ends up with it for Hartford Athletic here. As we head toward minute 37. Stripes up 1-0 over Hartford Athletic. Rasmussen and Lee. Lee with the left. Ruthven there.
Flag goes up.
Yep.
A lot of action on the far side of the field with John Gallagher getting active, getting involved in the final third. But then Hartford looking for those transition opportunities, attacking behind him through Dalgard and Gulo slotting out wide. Jorgensen trying to help a little bit. Wojcik dropping in a little bit more to help.
Conway with the right block by Lee. Asayadu is there. Heads it to keep control. Here's Metcalf. And Gallagher.
Hartford's transitions to the attack have been very strong tonight. Their transitions to the defense, not so much at times. Way too much space for Atlanta in that last opportunity.
Campbell, a big switch to Pogba. Regained his footing as Asayadu and Metcalf. Big idea kept in by Gallagher. Nicely done there. Double teamed against the touchline. Conway, Gallagher gets it back. Thought about it with the left. Bello had it, lost it. Nicely done backtracking is Alex Dixon, but Bello sticks with it.
Dixon wins it away from him, though, at the end, and then Bello gets called for a foul. Late sliding challenge from George Bello. A little frustrated there after losing it to Dixon. Referee says, I've got my eye on you.
And please restart your activity, sir.
Good communication from the referee tonight. Very vocal. Lots of conversations with the players, letting them know where the line is.
Jorgensen, Dixon. Now Dixon is free. Campbell, can he get back in time? Sent with the right and crawls past the post. Another opportunity for Hartford Athletic in transition.
Florentine Pogba gets caught there, stepping up a little too high, and he eliminates himself from the play. Metcalf tries to cover for it, can't. It's over him, and Dixon loses his footing, or he would have had a better chance at the end of it. Still fooled Brendan Moore just a bit. Moore wasn't completely sure he had that covered.
Linga and Conway were there. Conway won the joust. Ball ends up going backwards. Body still sliding all over the turf here at fifth third.
Campbell's got to put that in the stands.
Nicely done by Lee. He's going to want to work the left, works the left, and just missed again. Another opportunity for Hartford Athletic, and it was Angulo who was this close.
But these are the moments where a young player will learn from. Campbell loses possession way too easily. Lee takes it off of him. Great ball to the back post, and Angulo just can't quite get the right boot there. Angulo looking for his 61st career goal in USL action. He's 8 behind Indy 11's Dane Kelly. Those two will be seeing each other pretty soon this season.
March 30th when Hartford travels to Indy. Hartford's first 8 matches on the road this year, as Dillon Stadium is being renovated and prepared for Hartford Athletic. Rasmussen, Dixon, Lee, back to Dixon. Big switch all the way over. Too much for Tyler David. Throw for the Stripes at minute 41. Bello and Pogba going back and forth. Pogba sends it over to Campbell. Gallagher. Asayadu. Metcalf and Campbell. And the build continues. Sent in deeply, but too much by Campbell there. So it'll be a throw for Hartford Athletic, and they'll work quickly. Lee just gets it out of their defensive third before Jackson Conway could get there. Once again, Ruthven, Campbell, and Brendan Moore.
Good from Ruthven and Moore to give Campbell another quick touch after that last giveaway. Nearly punished with the equalizer.
Here's David and Dixon. Back and forth with Rasmussen. Dixon looking for Dalgard, not enough. Kind of like the idea of in football when the quarterback throws it to the receiver who just had the drop, just for the confidence idea. Yeah,
you want to get a young player touches after he makes a mistake like Campbell did. This is his first match in USL. George Campbell, definitely one for the future.
Last year for ATL UTD2, 1/4 of the roster was academy players. 40 players saw action, 10 of them from the academy last season.
Second in USL championship action last season. Getting the young players involved, that's a big focus of Atlanta United.
Rasmussen, back and forth. Comes back toward the center looking for Lee.
Good outside of the foot from Rasmussen to open things up.
Pereira on Lee to Dalgard. Gallagher on him. Sent in with the left, deflected. Nobody home. Well controlled by the Stripes, and Asayadu now with it in the middle of the pitch.
Love the patience from Bello. He knows he can't just outrun Dixon. Has to use some creativity there and switches through Asayadu.
Gallagher working with Conway. Back heel to keep possession. Metcalf and Ruthven. Pogba Like Vasquez either lost his footing or made contact with a Hartford player. Bello on the deck as well.
Atlanta earns the throw, though.
Bello looking for a little help, finally gets it in Pogba, but muscled off the ball there. And here comes Dalgard.
Just keep in mind, Florentine Pogba has not played a competitive match since May of 2018. You're 43.5 minutes in right now, and I'm sure he is feeling it.
Metcalf. Back to Campbell.
Looks like Hartford is feeling their first match of the season as well. Not much pressure at this point.
Coming up on the last minute of the 45 here in the first half. Shouldn't be too much time added. Pogba looking to spring. Conway with the left, headed down. Ruthven with help from Metcalf.
We're getting word there's going to be 1 minute of stoppage time.
Sayadu. Center circle. Has some space. Vasquez. Looking for Gallagher. Gallagher was farther down the pitch than Vasquez sent the ball.
Sloppy at the end of the half here from both sides.
Lee.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official
all the way back to Linga.
DeVitt.
A lot of room to run. Sayadu closes it down, but David was there. Jackson Conway tracking down, but Rasmussen gets there first, sends it back to Lissick. Big idea with the right boot, but headed clear. Settled down nicely, though, by Dixon. What can he do with it? Lee on the overlap. Comes in with the left. Brendan Moore is there.
Strong from Moore. No hesitation coming off of his line. Raymond Lee just puts a floater in there with the left foot. Easy pickings for Brendan Moore.
Bello and Pogba. Back to Moore. Angulo tried to get the ball away from Moore. Tried to frustrate him a little bit, but the Stripes end up with it. Metcalf. Sayadu. And your whistle. Whistle from Gustavo Solorio means that we are halfway through. And the one goal on the board by John Gallagher in the 30th minute is the only stuff on the board. That's the one that counts. The Stripes are on the board. We'll have a lot to talk about in the halftime. Stripes up 1-0 at the break. Stick and stay.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. One stop to better.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium here in Kennesaw, Georgia. We are at the intermission, or the interval. Atlanta United 2 leading Hartford Athletic by the score of 1-0. That goal in the 30th minute by John Gallagher off of the deflection in the box has been the difference so far. Jason, you look at your numbers at the break, what do you see?
It's about what you would expect from an Atlanta United squad. 61% of the possession. This club now is trying to build via possession, control matches through possession. They won't like conceding 7 shots to Hartford Athletic. Only 1 on target, though. 5 shots on target, 10 shots total for ATL UTD2. 7 of those 10 shots from inside the 18, and that's something we see consistently across the club. You're trying to create quality chances from close range. It's all about working it out wide, finding the right entry pass. We've seen a lot of that from John Gallagher tonight.
And on the Hartford Athletic side, getting chances in transition, but those 7 shots not coming up with any fruit.
The transition to attack has been very good for Hartford Athletic. The transition to defense hasn't been quite as strong. They're getting a little more direct. They're trying to catch Atlanta out a little bit. They're definitely trying to pick on John Gallagher, making him work, making him sit a little deeper.
When we come back, it's scores and stuff. That's the official term. It's the USL Championship, Stripes leading 1-0. We'll be back in just a bit.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens. One stop to better.
Welcome back. As we get ready for the second 45 minutes, we're going to kind of take a tour of what's going on around the USL. The USL Championship, the Stripes leading 1-0 over Hartford Athletic here. Obviously, with this being the first match week, you had games actually starting last night out in the West. You got a lot of action going on in the East, but you know, when you're talking about stuff going on around the league, it's a new year. Let's take a peek at some of the scores that have gone on so far, and some of this stuff is in progress.
Yeah, the most surprising one is North Carolina FC under former U.S. men's national team manager Dave Sarakin getting the win in his debut over the defending champs Louisville City, and not just by a close scoreline either. 4-1, big score there. Memphis 901 FC making their debut, trailing 1-0 to the Tampa Bay Rowdies in the second half.
And news and notes around the league. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. New faces in new places.
We mentioned Memphis. You're seeing Hartford Athletic here tonight. Birmingham Legion just over I-20 from here in Atlanta. A lot of new faces in the league and more to come as well. This is it's just a huge second division, maybe one of the biggest second divisions in the world, and you're seeing a lot of players use this as a platform to move up in their careers.
You mentioned Hartford, we have Hartford here, you mentioned Birmingham, Memphis, you mentioned Loudoun United, also a part of the equation, and out west, you're looking at New Mexico and all the others. Champs are coming, that's the next home match.
Coming in off of a loss as well, 4-1 to North Carolina FC. We'll see how angry they are. Back-to-back defending champs can't be happy about losing by 3 goals in the season opener.
We'll be here for that one at Fifth Third Bank on Friday night. And then the third, you notice a bit of a rebrand. It's a new look here in the USL, even in name with USL Championship, League One and League Two. That's just a part of it.
Yeah, it's a more condensed version of the USL in terms of the naming. I think it's a little bit easier for newcomers to the league to understand. USL Championship is the top division here. USL League One is next, brand new, lots of new professional teams there. USL League Two is the former PDL, your college players coming up.
And that'll happen at the end of the month. We'll continue with what's going on here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Stripes lead 1-0. You're watching USL Championship on ESPN+. Stick and stay.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium. At the interval still, the Stripes leading 1-0 as we get you ready for the second 45 minutes. And we mentioned, Jason, in the previous segment about what's coming up for one of these teams. Let's talk about the visitors and what's up for them. And you're going to notice that that word "at" is right there for the next 5 for Hartford Athletic.
That takes you games 2 through 6. They have a couple more away before their home opener on May 4th against Charlotte Independence. Construction work on historic Dillon Stadium in Hartford. It'll be ready on May 4th. The team wants to bring a decent record home if they can, with 8 matches on the road to start.
And you look at this, and it's Charleston, it's Louisville, it's Indy 11 out of the blocks. Traditionally very tough places to play for Hartford Athletic. Now let's take a look at the flip side. 5 of the first 7 for the Stripes are at home this year. And we talked about Louisville, and look at the rest of that grid.
A trip to Charlotte after that, then hosting St. Louis. Then you go see the new boys Memphis 901 FC before you get North Carolina FC back at home.
All right, let's figure out how we got to this particular moment in time. Highlights from the first 45 minutes. And charging in early was an opportunity for the Stripes right there. Jackson Conway was there, a part of it. There's George Bello with the left. Right on to Jacob Lissick.
John Gallagher very active on the right side, cuts that back, doesn't find anybody that time, but he'll get more involved later. George Campbell with the giveaway that led to the ball in from Lee, cleared. Brendan Moore with some tricky dribbling to evade Angulo.
There's Jackson Conway with some work. Gallagher with the right, headed right on by Pereira.
Pereira falling back, not able to get much on that. Hartford grew into the match, though, and Jorgensen tried to test Brendan Moore. Not quite enough on it to beat the goalkeeper.
And once again, in between hops there, you're looking at a wet turf. There's the set piece that got the deflection.
DeVitt with the clearance. Lee with the long throw, a weapon here, but it's Jack Metcalf, the captain, clearing with the left foot.
You mentioned George Campbell in the first 45 minutes as well.
Campbell was very strong defensively outside of one bad giveaway, also passed at a 90% clip.
George Bello with the fancy footwork there. Lissick right there, grabbing both hands.
Seen Bello score in MLS. He has confidence. This is the goal. Vasquez, shot goes off the outside of the right foot, falls right into the path of John Gallagher. Credit to Gallagher for continuing in his run and having the awareness to pick that ball up on his run and blast it home past Lissick.
That's where we are, 1-0 after the first 45 minutes. And I'd like to see what Dixon was able to do there as well, and then the header that was just wide.
Wojcik with that header should have done better there. Hartford with a good response after the goal before both teams ran out of gas. Not before Brandon Vasquez with a flying side volley after a beautiful first touch. Again, the cross coming in from John Gallagher.
And then Lee, once again, the tremendous entry, just misses Angulo.
Rasmussen and Dixon combining. Dixon's ball, nobody home. Easy for Brendan Moore to grab. Moore grabbed another one right at the end of the half.
I guess there's a reason for looking at those first half highlights. It's a reason for folks to kind of find the rhythm there. Be happy about things for the Stripes. 1-0 after the first 45.
There's things to be happy about. There's also things for both managers to focus on during the break. Jimmy Nielsen wants his team to transition defensively much better. They're getting caught out far too often, especially on their left side, Atlanta's right. For the Stripes, Stephen Glass will want to talk to his young players about making better decisions at times. We saw that one giveaway from Campbell. He got some more touches afterwards. We've seen some mistakes from Bello. He's also grown into it. I think Glass will also have a pretty long conversation with Florentin Pogba and kind of see where he's at the moment. Started out great, playing with tons of confidence, but you could see that rustiness as the half went on. He's on a first-team contract, an MLS contract. We will see him play in MLS probably sooner rather than later, but you're seeing tonight why he needs a little time to adjust.
And in the conversations that you and I've had with Stephen Glass and seeing the quotes from Tyler Ruthven heading into the season, it's Tyler Ruthven is as serious as you can get when it comes to wanting the success here in 2019 for ATL UTD2.
Tyler Ruthven's a veteran. Tyler Ruthven wants to be back playing in Major League Soccer. I think every player on this roster, whether they are on a first-team deal, whether they're on an academy deal, whether they're on a USL Championship deal, they all want to play at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You get there by winning. Gallagher, leading scorer last season for ATL UTD2, gets the first goal of the 2019 campaign. He's been outstanding in this transition for him, going from a forward in college to a right back or right wing back here at the professional level. But in this 3-4-3, he has so much freedom to get forward and join in the attack, whether from a wide position or cutting inside. And you have to give Jackson Conway a lot of credit too. The young player, 17 years old. When Gallagher cuts in, Conway's awareness to drop out or even drop back and fill that wingback role has been very impressive.
And usually I like to ask you with the quarter polls, you've kind of gotten into it here, and with what you've seen so far, we've gotten into it about Pogba and Conway and Gallagher. Anything else stick to mind?
The 3-4-3 that Atlanta United is playing, I think fans are getting a chance to see some of the possibilities of it and what it can bring. Out wide, you have to dominate the match out wide. Tonight, Bello and Gallagher have been two of the best players on the pitch, and it's showing in the results so far for ATL UTD2.
Substitutes available for ATL UTD2. Alessandro Castro, Jose Hernandez, Dylan Castanera in net. Will Vint, who a lot of folks have been wanting to draw their eyes to see what Will Vint can do. Guillermo Benitez, Patrick Okonkwo, and Luis Fernando available for Stephen Glass here in the final 45.
Will Vint, part of Atlanta United's academy, spent time in Manchester United's academy prior to his return to the United States. Played with Atlanta United in a U19 tournament in Germany, an indoor tournament back in the off season. Played with them in a friendly against the Chattanooga Red Wolves of USL League One earlier this spring.
For Hartford. In the first minute, entering the field is number 92, Gillespie.
Fifth Third Bank Stadium gets you ready for the second 45 minutes here when it comes to match week 1 in the USL Championship here in 2019. Spilled a bit and cleared by the captain alongside Jason Longshore. John Nelson here with you, talking about the Stripes here in ATL UTD2, and we have our first substitution of 2019.
We have a foul here in a dangerous area. We'll get to that substitution in just a second. Florentine Pogba brings down Jorgensen. Hartford Athletic with a free kick just outside the 18, about 22, 23 yards from goal. One player he'll be looking for is Giuseppe Gentile. Checks in, former Richmond Kickers player. He checks in to try to spark Hartford's attack.
Looks like he's in for Alex Dixon here in the second 45. So let's see what Jorgensen has in mind. Headed up, and Brendan Moore pushed away from it. A bit of a scrum in front of Moore, but finally cleared. Gentile comes down with it. Hartford maintains possession.
Surprised there wasn't a foul. Brendan Moore pushed away from that. Jose Angulo made contact on the initial header, just popped it straight up into the air, as we see here. Actually, it got through Angulo. It came off of Pogba. Looked like it was Moore being pushed into by his own player after Linga shoved potentially Metcalf into him.
Let's see what Hartford Athletic does. Gentile lost his footing.
Both teams having problems with the footing out in wide positions.
Pogba trying to send it to Vasquez. DeVitt there to defend. And Rasmussen there for Hartford, and Linga. And
Lee cuts back away from Jackson Conway.
Dalgard at the far. Well defended that time by Campbell, and it's going to be a throw for Hartford Athletic.
Too easy for Hartford to get down the left side. Dalgard and Lee combined to beat Conway and Gallagher. Nearly a corner, but it's off the corner flag, and it's a throw. Raymond Lee with the long throw, essentially a corner kick here.
So let's see what Lee has in mind. Whatever it was headed out by Ruthven. Linga on Vasquez, and Linga comes away with it. He'll launch with the right, but it's right on to Brendan Moore. Moore will try to send ATL UTD2 down in a hurry. Jackson Conway looking to come down with it, but DeVitt is there first.
Good hands from Brendan Moore to not give up a rebound out in front. Linga launches a shot from about 35 yards right at the Atlanta goalkeeper.
And as you're looking here in the second 45 minutes, Hartford Athletic in their white kits going from right to left as you're viewing. ATL UTD2 in their striped kits. Pogba headed down, but Hartford Athletic comes up with possession. Rasmussen tries, but he loses his footing, and Brandon Vasquez comes down with it. 3 Hartford players there with him, so he'll send it long looking for Conway. Conway settles and slips. But Pereira got into the passing lane. Last off of Pereira's cleats, it'll be a throw, which means Raymond Lee will get after it.
Nice defensive work from Dion Pereira. Kind of lost in the match a little bit as the first half went on. Has to find ways to get involved. You don't want to see young players kind of drift in and out of matches.
Campbell.
Good work from Gallagher to track back. Deny that pass into Dalgard.
Moore and Pogba and Aseyadu. Campbell had it hop over his cleat, but he does grab it. Metcalf. Ruthven. And Pogba. With the left, trying to spring George Bello. He does. A slip into the middle. It's Vasquez. Working his way over and into the 6, but it's easily picked up by Lissick.
Gallagher tries to play that first time on the ball from Vasquez. Love the confidence out of John Gallagher, feeling it tonight. Couldn't find Jackson Conway on that first time delivery. See if Atlanta United tries to pick on Tyler David a little bit. He had help from Alex Dixon, who could run with George Bello in the first half. Don't have that same speed helping out now.
Pereira. Rasmussen on him. Pereira turns. Sends it down into the corner. Stripes working with the right. Vasquez is there, but it's picked up by Lissick, no problem.
Nice work from Dion Pereira getting involved here in the second half. Sends Gallagher down the right side. Cross left a little to be desired. Brandon Vasquez unable to get there in front of Lissick.
Sent deep. Campbell and Dalgard both going up. It goes out, so it'll be a Hartford throw. And Raymond Lee.
End-to-end action here early in the second half. Jimmy Nielsen looking for something out of his young club. Just not quite enough patience in the attacking half so far tonight. Nielsen would like to see Jorgensen and Rasmussen get a little more involved in the middle of the park. So far, Metcalf and Asayadu have been bossing that section of the field.
Wojcik's had a couple of opportunities, not able to do anything with them, but just simply sent out and headed back. And Brendan Moore will try it again. There's Stephen Glass in his first match as head coach of ATL UTD2.
For Glass, you're just looking at cleaning things up a little bit in the second half. Really no changes to the philosophy, to the style.
Vasquez looking to spring Gallagher, but Lee is there instead, but he sends it back, and Campbell looks to come forward.
Lee has to pick Dalgard out on that one. Had an opportunity down the left.
Asayadu works in a circle to Metcalf. Big switch is there to Bello. Gentile on him. Pushes Bello down, no call.
Shoulder to shoulder from Gentile. Good defending from him. Bello has to be quicker in his decisions. He had the opportunity to get in behind.
Asayadu, flicked by Vasquez. Pereira. Gentile marking him, sent in with the left and just sent out by DeVitt. It's going to be a deep throw.
George Bello with the nice first touch. Bello losing his footing. Gentile goes in with the shoulder. Couldn't tell if he made contact with Bello's shoulder from that angle. Looked like it live to me. Bello's indecision is what put him in that trouble in the first place.
Pogba.
A little heavy from Metcalf, but Ruthven has space to recover.
Over to Campbell. Gallagher. And back. Looking for Conway. Not enough on it.
And mishit from Campbell.
And Asayadu gets in there and gets the ball back for the Stripes. Nicely done defensively by AA.
Yeah, it's excellent work from Asayadu. If the referee's going to let the play go and he's going to let players get physical, Anderson Asayadu will take advantage of that.
Another opportunity for the Stripes to work forward, but it skips off the turf again quickly for Gallagher. And here comes Asayadu into the lane. Metcalf has it. Center circle Vasquez. Stripes will build with Pogba and now Bello.
That time Bello's taken down off the ball by Tyler David. Would love to see Atlanta try to attack down the left side a little bit here and really test David.
And that partnership with Gentile now here in the second 45.
Substitution coming for Atlanta right now. Looks like Atlanta United fans will get a chance to see Will Vent mixing in with the professional group for the first time. He's replacing John Gallagher.
Number 36, Will Vent. Leaving the pitch.
Looks like Metcalf is going to slide out to the right side as the wing back. Vent and Asayadu are your two central midfielders. We saw Vent in Chattanooga a couple weeks ago in preseason. Very, very confident. This is a player who's coming out of Manchester United's academy. Comfortable on the ball.
Conway on Lee, looking for Vasquez, the flick, and it's just over the bar.
Vent gets involved from the start here. Starts the sequence with Metcalf down the right side to Jackson Conway. Good ball on the ground by Conway. Vasquez going for the near post. Didn't miss by too much.
Another opportunity for the Stripes there in the 56th minute.
After a tough 2018, Brandon Vasquez really needs a goal here early in 2019.
Agreed.
Had some injuries, derailed his season, kind of fits and starts in 2018. Needs a goal for the confidence. He's worked very hard tonight.
Got the ball away from Gentile, but he couldn't control it, so it'll be a deep throw by Sim DeVitt.
Good work there again. Vasquez is doing the job defensively, leading the line as the number 9. We've generally seen him out wide on the right side. Tonight, he's playing that center forward role that he played as a U.S. Youth International.
The Sayadu off of Wojcik, sends it all the way over. Grabbed by Captain Jack, sent in. Pereira and return. Vint.
Hartford Athletic will be making a substitution at their next opportunity.
All the way back to Ruthven again.
Vint getting touches early. Confident passing so far.
Pogba. Vasquez. Gentile on DeVint on him. And a whistle, and it looks like he's going to have a set piece opportunity here for the Stripes here in minute 57.
That's a couple years of experience from Brandon Vasquez. He takes the hit and goes down, but as he's going down, he makes sure to make contact with the ball with his right arm, forcing the referee to make a decision. Almost every time the referee is going to give that foul to the player knocked down.
Looks like Ryan Williams will be coming in for Hartford Athletic. So let's see what the idea is here. And with the right and all those bodies inside the box, Gentile ends up with it, but Metcalf backtracks nicely back to Pogba.
That's the captain leading the squad there. Metcalf tracks back to deny Gentile on the break. Atlanta switched around after that set piece. See if they can handle this, and all the shifts are strong. And that's why Ruthven plays it back to Moore. You want to give everybody a chance to get set. Campbell loses his footing, gets bailed out by Sayadu.
Vint.
Atlanta has an opportunity as an overload over here on the left side as Metcalf is still here.
Lee and Conway went after it, and Sayadu comes down with it, and Sayadu with the stiff arm on Lee to maintain possession. Nicely done, though, by Raymond Lee to keep Sayadu's momentum from getting any further. Let's take a peek at Double A here.
Anderson Sayadu, very strong for his size. Shoulder to shoulder with Raymond Lee, sends him flying. He recovers and blocks the cross out for the throw.
Number 12.
That'll be it for
Wojcik.
Yep, for Wojcik. Ryan Williams coming in. So 14 in and 12 out now.
Ryan Williams last with Tranmere Rovers, England's League Two. Very international squad for Jimmy Nielsen in his first year in Hartford.
Pereira. And Metcalf. And Vint.
Good turn from Vint, good strength. Holding off Williams.
Back to Ruthven. Campbell looking for Conway. Finds him after the deflection. Pereira. Slide tackle, loses possession. Hartford tries to work with it. Here's Gentile looking to spring. A little too much there on Williams. And Moore will quickly send it back to Pogba.
Williams didn't get a touch, didn't really threaten a touch. Referee kept the flag down. I wonder if that flag would have come up if he had been near it.
Vint looking to spring Metcalf, too much.
Ambitious from Will Vint, overhits it.
I know a lot of folks toward the end of 2018 were looking to see Will Vint perhaps make an appearance toward the end of the ATL UTD2 season. Didn't happen, but
well,
now
it's late. I mean, that's a pretty big ask to transition to a new club in a new country he's born in, but a country he had not been in for quite a while. Needed a little bit of time to settle in, and he's showing his quality now.
Pogba back to defend against Gentile. Nicely done, and it'll be a corner for Hartford Athletic.
Pogba had to get that right. Gentile was on his right shoulder. Good touch with the left boot from Pogba. Gives up the corner. Get another look at it now. Space in behind Metcalf. Good service, and Pogba at full stretch has to get the touch there. We saw Gentile late last season with the Richmond Kickers give Atlanta some fits. He's doing it again tonight.
Jorgensen sends it in. Attempted volley missed twice.
Linga went for the first one, might have got a slight touch.
DeVent was trying for the second one, and out comes Campbell.
Great touch from George Campbell as he leads the break.
Asayadu, center circle. Some numbers there, finds Pereira. Looking, and I thought it was in. Honestly, the opportunity was there. You thought it was going to happen. Brandon Vasquez knows he missed a golden opportunity to make it 2-0.
Starts with Campbell to Asayadu, then out wide to Pereira. Perfect delivery from Pereira, and Vasquez trying to find the far side netting. Can't connect.
Halfway through minute 62, almost 2-0, still 1-0 to ATL UTD2 here. Match week 1 of your 2019 USL Championship.
Giveaway, Anderson Asayadu picks it up.
Driving past Rasmussen, thought about sending it in, changes feet, changes his mind, brings it back out to Will Vent. Metcalf will bring it in with the right. Deflected. Bello will try to settle and turn. Asayadu tries to settle and turn, and they'll just bring it back out.
Bello was trying to turn it to his left foot. Vent, good interception.
Metcalf in, Conway there. DeVent to intercept and head it clear. Williams and Linga will just send it down. And they're going to call Ruthven there off the push. As Angulo.
Offside. He was offside first, coming back from an offside position. Push didn't matter. Probably would have been called. Ruthven takes the free kick short.
Pereira sending, looking for Vasquez, gets a little bit on it, but not enough, and it ends up in Jacob Lissig's hands.
A little heavy from Dion Pereira. Vasquez couldn't get there on that one. Good quick strike, though. Played it out off the short free kick.
Lee looking to spring Gentile too much. And it ends up with Brendan Moore.
It's a good ball in. Metcalf to Pereira. Pereira heavy pass to Brandon Vasquez, who's running the channel. Can't get there.
Vent to Conway now. A support in Metcalf. Leaves it for Vent. Sends it in with the right. Vasquez is there. Punched clear by Lissick. Settled down by Hartford.
Vasquez might be able to get in front of Lissick there. It's a good ball in from Will Vent.
Bit of a break here for Hartford Athletic. Gentile. Pogba on him. Tried to work in the spin. Dalgard nicely defended by Campbell for the corner.
Oh, Dalgard absolutely worked on the spin. He spun away from everybody. Great work from the young Dane. Let's take another look at it here. Played inside. He spins around Tyler Ruthven, who lost his footing, and it's George Campbell cleaning it up with a late tackle. Had to get that right, Campbell, because he went in showing studs, and if he'd went into the player, more than likely would have been a penalty. Could have been a card as well, but Campbell slides in front of the player to block the shot.
Jorgensen for the corner. Looking to back post, headed clear. Pereira in pursuit. Dalgard on him. Pereira will spin away. Jack Metcalf looking for help. DeVitt there intercepts. And picked off again by Pogba. Stripes have an opportunity here with some space. Vint to Ruthven. Over here to Bello. And Vint and Ruthven again. Pressure by Hartford Athletic. Deep throw for the Stripes. Here turning minute 66.
Pogba retreating to his left center back role now. Bello covered for him well.
throw and sent back to Pogba. Pogba dangerously across the goal mouth.
Nobody home. Florentine knows what he's doing there.
Too much for a Seydu. Now Gentile.
A lot of energy from Gentile since coming on at the halftime interval.
Lee driving on Conway, sends it in with the left. Ruffin clears.
Lee beats Conway on the dribble. Tyler Ruffin with Jose Angulo lurking on the back post. Clears it away.
And it looks like we're going to get our first look at Guillermo Benitez in for George Bello here in minute 67.
Your attention, please.
Good night for George Bello in his return. He played in the CONCACAF Champions League first leg in Herediano in Costa Rica. Took a knock in training, hasn't played since. This is his first action. Looked good tonight, looked up for it. Liked his energy, didn't look to be dragging or seeing any ill effects from it. And this is an opportunity for Guillermo Benitez to make his debut in the United States. Young Panamanian left back. Loved his energy in that preseason friendly in Chattanooga.
Each team now with one substitution left.
Benitez comes to Atlanta from Plaza Amador in Panama.
DeVitt looking. And the joust was there with Dalgard and Metcalf. Didn't get to either one, so it looks like it's going to be a stripes throw.
Curious to see who Jimmy Nielsen turns to for his last substitution. Max Steves is a player that I've seen a few times MLS preseason work. I've really been impressed with Steves. Looked like a handball from Angulo, not called.
And that's what the stripes players are talking about.
Don't know how that one wasn't called. Angulo goes up with the right arm and just settles it down to his foot. Let's see if we can tell anything differently from the replay here.
And right there.
It's about as clear as day. Would have been a nice play in hockey where you glove it down and settle it down to the stick, but not supposed to be allowed here.
And it looks like Gustavo Solorio wants to have a bit of a discussion with Jack Metcalf.
A few extra words that the referee did not care for after that decision. Hartford having flashbacks to their days as the Whalers.
Sent in with the right. Gentile tries to flick it backwards. The back post. Brendan Moore tries to punch and clear.
I don't know how much more got of that, but it's away. And Benitez trying to break down the left.
Pereira's there. And sent back.
Nice work by Pereira in tight space.
Vint with the big switch. If it's there and there's enough air under it, it is. Looking for Pereira off the deflection. Deflected more than once. It goes over the inline. A chaotic end of the play.
Let's go back on that ball from Will Vint,
yes.
Though. If we can take another look at that one. 65 yards on a dime to Brandon Vasquez. What a ball from Will Vint.
Look at that.
Perfect delivery from the academy player. Vasquez didn't have to move, settles it well. Lucky deflection falls to Pereira, and Pereira has to hit that first time.
It's time for
Lee
another
had
Creature
it.
Comforts
Pereira
corner
had it.
kick.
But now it's time for a Creature Comforts corner kick here in minute number 70.
Metcalf comes over from the right side to take it.
Left hand up, right cleat in, and headed clear.
Miscommunication there. Lissick was there to punch.
Benitez winds up and fires outside of the left over the bar.
Ooh, love the confidence from Benitez. No hesitation. Couple touches looking for his shot, and he has it. An electric player, Guillermo Benitez. Takes just a couple of touches to settle himself and rips with the left. Did not miss by much.
Nope. Seydu Pereira. Vasquez was looking for it. Ends up with Benitez. Goes in with some work on Tyler David, but it's an easy pickup for Jacob Lissick.
Benitez slaloming to the right, back to the left. Gets the cross in. Not enough quality. Lissick handles that pretty easily.
Lee sending it forward, looking for Williams. Finds him. Jack Metcalf saying it went off of Williams last. And here's the last substitution of the day for Stephen Glass.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Luis Fernando, formerly of the Richmond Kickers, will be checking in. Florentine Pogba checking out. Pogba looked like he was hurting a little bit that last foray up the field.
What's your report card on number 20 with his first action back?
Well, you see his talent straight away, his confidence as well, but you also see that he is not 90 minutes match fit yet. Physical fitness might be there, but you could see the legs start to get heavy as the night went on, and that caused some mistakes and some bad giveaways. Good addition for Atlanta United and Florentine Pogba. He will contribute at both the MLS and USL levels this season.
Early opportunity for Fernando there, taken away by Jurgensen.
So let's see how Atlanta shifts. Pogba was playing as the left center back next to Tyler Ruthven and George Campbell.
Luis Fernando in.
Fernando, Lee battling, jerseys being pulled. Metcalf comes into the fray. Scrappy.
Tyler David.
Nice work from Benitez to cut off David. Takes the hit and gets the yellow card.
Tyler David wondering where that came from.
It came from the bottom of his boot, showing studs to Benitez. Pretty easy decision there for the referee. The AR immediately put the flag up.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Jorgensen with the long ball over the top to David in space. It's a poor first touch, and then he just goes in recklessly with the right foot. High and exposing the studs.
73rd minute.
Memory serves, that's the first card of the match.
So it looks like Atlanta shifted to 4 in the back now, with Campbell and Ruthven flanked by Benitez on the left, Metcalf on the right. The roles change a little bit for Benitez and Metcalf now. They're going to have to stay at home a little bit more as Hartford looks for an equalizer.
Williams, center circle, back to Linga. Brandon Vasquez chasing after him. Picked off, Anderson Asayadu now.
Nice touch from Ruthven to give Asayadu a chance to turn and get on it.
Can Vasquez get there? He does.
Back
Keeps
heel.
it in with the back heel. Nicely done. What do the Stripes do here? Fake with the left, and just missed.
Back heel from Brandon Vasquez on the touchline gives Luis Fernando a chance. Fernando dribbling across the 18, left-footed shot, missed just wide of the post.
Quickly brought back in from Hartford Athletic. So here's to take a peek real quick at what just went down.
Vasquez with the little back heel to keep it alive. Fernando cuts across, doesn't have it there, has it here. Would have beat Lissick, but couldn't beat the inside of the post. Now Hartford with a chance down the right.
Williams looking to work his way in, sends it in with the right. Nicely done by Tyler Ruthven to clear. '75th minute. The goal by John Gallagher in the 30th has stood since. Stripes leading 1-0 here, match week 1. Once again, Tyler Ruthven right in the middle of it all, sends it high up the elevator shaft. Conway misses on the joust. Picked up by Rasmussen.
Final substitution getting ready for Hartford.
No whistle there as DeVitt wanted a call, didn't get it. Gentile and David. Back to Giuseppe Gentile, turns, kicks, save, other opportunity, kicked again and cleared.
Campbell with the second block, Moore with the kick save with the right boot to deny the first chance.
Metcalf. A foul there as Pereira tried to get it, so they're going to call a foul on Linga. And let's take a peek at what just went down here. Jimmy Nielsen, he's looking for something else.
A couple chances for Hartford. It starts with David out wide on the right, inside to Gentile in a ton of space. Moore has to kick save the first one. Campbell has to block the second one. Hartford taking advantage of Atlanta's shift to 4 in the back. Jose Angulo checks out for Hartford, and Max Steeves does come in.
Yep, to your earlier point, you were looking at Max Steeves, and it's going to be Steeves for Angulo, so each team has used them up.
Great scouting.
Minute.
Great scouting from Jimmy Nielsen. He's a player, Max Steeves, that Nielsen saw last season in the Western Conference. Steeves played with Rio Grande Valley, was a draft pick of the Houston Dynamo. Really expected him to stick. But Hartford takes advantage, and he has a chance to try to bring them back now in their debut.
Conway, Asayadu, Pereira. Back to Jackson Conway. Looking to spring Vasquez, he does. He couldn't quite bring it down and trying to get to the ball. Called for the foul as he was trying to climb DeVitt. Here in minute 77, and Hartford will bring it forward again.
Steeves returning close to home, played at Providence College, former teammate of Atlanta United's Julian Gressel.
Linga sends it long. David is there. Into the middle. Nicely done. Worked by Jorgensen to Gentile. Deflected and just missed at the back, but it does stay in.
Steeves diving in at the back post, can't get on the end of it.
Dalgard is there for Raymond Lee. Rasmussen all the way back helping out. Let's take another look at this last Hartford chance.
Crossing from the right, Benitez gives Gentile too much space. Steeves can't find the end of it. Metcalf does enough to throw him off, but then Will Vent commits a foul, and Hartford now with an opportunity about 30 yards from goal to the right of Brendan Moore. Jorgensen hobbling a little bit after that foul from Vent. It's Ryan Williams to take it.
After a bit of a discussion from Jorgensen and from DeVitt. Let's see what Ryan Williams has in mind. Big launch right at Brendan Moore.
Williams slipped just a little bit, didn't get all of it. Pretty easy catch and save for Brendan Moore. Good throw from him out to the right.
And Luis Fernando couldn't quite hang on to it and turn.
The shape right now for Atlanta is definitely a work in progress. It's down to the fact they didn't have another center back available. Pogba wasn't going to be able to finish the match. So they have to shift from the back three they had played all night to a back four. Hasn't quite stuck yet.
Campbell making his way forward, trying to send Pereira with the left. DeVitt is there instead for Hartford, but Asayadu is there, chests it down, keeps possession for the Stripes, and Will Vent.
Will Vent cycles possession over to Metcalf on the right.
Looking to spring Conway. Can he get there in time? Nope. So it's going to be a goal kick for Jacob Lissick, heading up on minute number 80.
Frustration from Conway as he misreads it, unable to keep that in. Hartford with 4 up top, matching up 4v4. But it's Campbell to win that goal kick.
Asayadu, center circle. Vasquez is available. Gets it to him. Brandon looking to step over, turn with the right and in! Asayadu to Vasquez, and you hope that that will help the confidence of number 19.
Asayadu gets the assist here, but it's one of the easiest assists he'll ever get. This is all Brandon Vasquez. Asayadu gives it to him in space. Step over, gets past DeVitt, rips it into the far side netting, and you didn't see the running around reaction out of Vasquez. He knew he should have had one earlier. He gets that back with this, and you're right. Hopefully this gets that confident Brandon Vasquez that we saw in 2017 back for Atlanta United.
ATV 2 goals scored by number 19,
10 minutes plus stoppage
Brandon
left.
Vasquez.
And here come the stripes again. Sayadu looking to work with Vasquez. Vasquez and Conway. Conway off the deflection,
Assisted
gets
by
his weight
Anderson
deep,
and
but it ends up with Jacob
Asidio.
Lissick.
Again, the ATL UTD2 goal scored by Brandon Vasquez in the 80th
Too much for
minute.
Gentile, and it will be an ATL
By
UTD2
Anderson
throw.
Asidio.
2 players on MLS contracts get the goals tonight for Atlanta. John Gallagher, Brandon Vasquez, both trying to make a point to Frank DeBoer. They want time in MLS. Both have been involved at various points of the preseason with Atlanta United. With a busy week ahead, the home opener in Major League Soccer tomorrow against FC Cincinnati. Second leg of the CONCACAF Champions League quarterfinals against Monterrey on Wednesday, and then a home match against the Philadelphia Union next Sunday. Gallagher and Vasquez are staking their claim to MLS minutes with their performance here tonight.
Looks like they're going to call the push in the back on Gentile as he was trying to joust with Sayadu. Ruthven will send it forward. Didn't get all of it. Tyler David is there. Gentile now.
Good ball from Gentile.
Trying to spring Steves, and Steves with the right. Brendan Moore comes up with the right paw to send it over the bar. Corner kick.
I thought Max Steves might have telegraphed that a little bit. You see him take a peek as he receives this.
Right there.
Sees Moore off his line. Still nearly picks out the far side netting. Moore has to get the fingertips to it.
Corner sent in, back post, headed down, punched by Moore. A lot of calls for handball in the box. Didn't get it, sent clear.
Didn't see the handball in the 18. Steves won the initial header and forced another save from Brendan Moore.
Sayadu thought about having to send it backwards, but then there were 3 white kits there.
Good turn away from trouble by Anderson Sayadu. He felt that pressure.
Benitez has Fernando to his left. A lot of work by Benitez. He's going to go it, and then he falls, no whistle there. He tried to get the call for the penalty. Didn't quite happen, so Hartford comes back with it, and Gentile in minute 84.
Game getting completely stretched out. Here's the chance for Hartford that Steves headed on to Moore. See if there was a handball involved anywhere in it. Steves with the initial header. Moore with the punch. Header back in as Campbell's turning. It does come off of his hand as he's turning. He had no time to see it or react, but we've seen that called before.
Flags up.
Surprised there wasn't more of a reaction from Hartford players. Campbell kind of spinning away, trying to turn and face and find the ball. And as he is, the ball does make contact with his arm, it appeared. Sure, that got quite a reaction at the Hooker Beer at Colt.
Yes.
Back in Hartford as they have their first watch party in Hartford athletic history. Could have been a penalty. We've seen that called many times.
DeVitt back to Lissick. Vasquez is chasing, jumps into the way. Sayadu. Will Vent now, center circle. Looking to spring Fernando. He does. Turns on Lee. Launch with the left. And just gets in front of it. That was pretty much a catcher pass ball block kind of a save deal.
Because the wet turf in front. Fernando with the rip from distance that takes a hop in front of Lissick. Hop right about 5 yards in front of him. Lissick handles that well. That's all he can do with it.
Creature Comforts corner kick.
Again. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, Creature Comforts corner kick. Go for it.
Never want to get in the way of a Creature Comfort. But Will Vent started that whole sequence again with another great pass to start the attack.
Sent in, back post. Vasquez tries to head it down. Ends up with a bunch of Hartford athletic kits and sent center circle. Benitez is there.
Might have a Creature Comfort after the match tonight.
Sent in deeply by Sayadu with the left. Easy pickings by Lissick here in minute 86.
Good ball from Lissick. Gentile can't handle it out of the air, though. Does win the throw. Some decisions for Jimmy Nielsen in the starting lineup for next week. Gentile, Steves, and Williams have all looked very good off the bench tonight. Of course, I just jinxed Williams as he lost his footing.
Off of the wet surface tonight. Here in Kennesaw, temperature in the low 60s, and then the sprinklers came on. Vasquez looking for Luis Fernando, couldn't chest it down off the side, and it'll be a throw.
Fernando's brought some life to Atlanta United as well. Had a couple good chances, very active since checking in.
Hartford Athletic down 2 with a handful of minutes to go plus stoppage. Ball ends up going all the way back to Lissick. David calling for it. Wanted to spring Gentile. Gentile and Benitez get into it. They're going to whistle Gentile for that, I think.
No, no whistle.
No whistle? Okay. Thought I heard a whistle.
No, Gentile won the header, but 2-0.
So now late in the match, I'm hearing things.
That's where we're at in the match. That's a good ball from Brendan Moore. Picks out Pereira. Sloppy from Dion. He turns it over.
Gentile, Benitez on him. Nicely done defending Benitez to get the ball away from Gentile. Tyler Ruthven back. Sends it forward with the left. Vasquez looking for it. David ends up with it for Hartford. Nothing to come of it.
Atlanta United really seems to grow left backs or left wing backs on trees. You have George Bello, one of the most promising young players in the United States right now. You add a player in Guillermo Benitez for your USL Championship squad this season. You have Jose Hernandez, who was part of Venezuela's U20 World Cup finalist squad. Oh yeah, Breck Shea,
yes,
former U.S. men's international as well. A lot of options on the left side for Atlanta United.
Tyler Ruthven. Benitez. Not afraid to dribble and drive. Gives to a Sayadu. Pereira tries to work his way through Linga. Doesn't happen. And on the turn, it's Hartford, but backtracking nicely, Captain Jack.
Captain has to put in that work. He sets the example, and Metcalf has done that consistently since putting on the Atlanta United 2 kit.
Sayadu.
Ooh, nice from Sayadu.
Yep. Had Gentile going one direction, decided to do something else entirely. Metcalf trying to spring Conway. Linga was there first. So it would be a stripes throw. Halfway through minute 89. A little gamesmanship, take you a little time, try to.
That's part of it. Everybody's feeling it at this point. This is game 1 of the season.
Yes. Stephen Glass keeping an eye on the captain as he was throwing it in.
89 minutes feel like 189 minutes tonight. Will Vent, nice turn away from trouble.
Not afraid to dribble into a bunch of different kits, but couldn't control it. Ends up being a Hartford Athletic throw.
Final product has to be there. You see Stephen Glass telling him to be smarter. Yes, you have a 2-goal lead, but you can't afford a giveaway that leads to a goal for Hartford and a frantic finish.
Bent can't control that. Jurgensen does. Gets it back from Rasmussen. Luis Fernando on him, nicely poked away, trying to spring Vasquez, and Linga was there instead.
Been impressed with Linga tonight. That time he gets in between. It's a ball that Conway or Vasquez could have gotten to.
Rasmussen was looking for David, ends up with Benitez. Benitez trying to dribble through a bunch of kits. Hits the turf, ends up heading back to Hartford.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
3
fourth
minutes
official
added.
has indicated there will be a minimum of 3 minutes.
So ATL UTD 3 minutes away from their first win here in match week 1. Trying to keep possession was Conway, and it looks like he's going to get a card for sliding in.
Both players sliding in there. Conway goes in, studs up. Rasmussen goes in, studs up. Rasmussen got there first, and that's what got the card on Conway.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. A caution has been issued by the referee, number 14.
No worries for Jackson Conway. I think the most impressive thing about Conway's performance tonight has been that scrappiness, has been that defensive work. We know he can score goals. He's been one of the leading scorers in the country in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. But it's the work off the ball that will make him a quality professional, and he's shown that tonight.
And I mean, we've even seen good things in small sample sizes from folks like Benitez, who's come in and done well.
Oh, Benitez has been electric. Vasquez that time couldn't control it. Gave it away. He had Conway and Pereira running.
Benitez in 20-plus minutes, getting some work in. Will Vint came in the 55th.
We'll see Atlanta again on Friday against Louisville City.
Yep.
The back-to-back champs looking for a little revenge after a really poor start to their season. Hartford with their run of matches on the road.
Yep.
They can build from here, though. I think this is a strong squad for Hartford Athletic. Jimmy Nielsen has built a team from scratch before with OKC Energy FC. 2 Western Conference Finals appearances for that group. He's brought a lot of those guys here to mix in with some young players.
Whistle on DeVitt as he was trying to get the ball from Luis Fernando. To your point, and they're going to be challenging. They're going to be in challenging environments. It's at Charleston, at Louisville, at Indy 11, at Tampa, at Pittsburgh, Red Bulls 2, North Carolina FC before that home opener, May the 4th.
A lot of conversation going on the field. Fernando being told to knock it off. I think Hartford fans not happy about the result tonight, but can be pleased with the showing overall.
Right.
A lot of positives to take away from tonight. I'm sure the most positive thing for the fans watching is having a team to support.
Yes. And work, and just missed the bar again. Just missed off the near post again.
Huge save from Lissick.
Yeah.
Lissick yells at his back line to keep playing. It's Vint again starting it. Fernando back across. Conway looking for the goal, and Lissick comes out of nowhere to make the save.
Another Creature Comforts corner kick here
It's
very
time for
late.
another Creature Comfort corner
Luis
kick.
Fernando will take it.
Lissick covered a lot of ground to get there to deny Jackson Conway.
Volleyed down, attempted by Vasquez. And that'll do it. So the maiden voyage for Hartford Athletic ends up showing up at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, and the Stripes, ATL UTD2, get their first win of the season here in match week 1 in 2019.
Good, strong performance from ATL UTD2. I think the biggest thing that Atlanta United fans will take away is seeing this team play in a shape reminiscent of the first team and show the quality that when you get the wide players involved, and John Gallagher, George Bello, Guillermo Benitez, and Jack Metcalf late, all getting involved out wide, opens the game up. And the man of the match tonight here in the stadium, George Campbell, an academy player making his USL Championship debut tonight, hardly put a foot wrong all evening.
We're going to take a peek at how we got to the 2-0 win. You're watching ATL UTD2 and their 2-0 win over Hartford Athletic. It's the USL Championship on ESPN+. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Match week 1 ends up with full points for ATL UTD2, a 2-0 win over Hartford Athletic. A goal by John Gallagher in the 30th, a goal by Brandon Vasquez in the 80th, and the home folks go home happy from the first match in the new venue.
Great night for ATL UTD2 as we see from the stats. 59% of the possession. That's what Atlanta United clubs want to do going forward. Dominate possession. They will have a problem with conceding 15 shots and 6 on target. Brendan Moore with 6 saves in a clean sheet debut in an Atlanta United kit. But Atlanta producing 17 shots, producing 8 on target. George Campbell, we went back to look at his numbers after he's named man of the match here in the building. George Campbell passed at an 86% clip, more passes than anybody in the squad for Atlanta. The confidence on him, and he had one mistake early, and they went back to him immediately. And at the end, he's playing, switching from a 3 center back setup to a 4-man back line like he's a seasoned pro. Great performance from the academy player in Campbell.
And that's what this growth is all about when it comes to ATL UTD2. Jason and I will be back here in a little less than a week. 5 of the first 7 at home for ATL UTD2 as the back-to-back champs come to town. The goal by John Gallagher on the board. The second one from Brandon Vasquez in the 80th. The home fans go home happy. You've been watching the USL Championship and ATL UTD2's first win of the year. We'll see you from Fifth Third in a little less than a week's time. For Jason Longshore, I'm John Nelson. Play it safe, everybody. You're watching ESPN+.
Copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.